Salutations everyone, this is Raz0r, and we are going back to the future. How far are we going back? We're going back 30 years. How far into the future? We're going today. We're going all the way to today, October 21st, 2015. The day that Back to the Future Part 2 takes place. Here playing Back to the Future Part 2 and 3 on the NES. Doesn't get more throwback than this, my first ever console. I would say this is a game from my childhood, because it was a game I could have played if I wanted to, but this was a game that was so difficult for Dad that the kids didn't even try. So, we're gonna give it a try. In the year 2015, your arch-enemy Biff stole Doc's time-traveling car and a sports almanac. He then traveled to 1955. They think we would have paper books in the future. That's adorable. Gave the book back to his younger self. In 1955. By 1985, Biff, using the information in the sports almanac, became the most powerful and corrupt man on Earth. To protect the almanac, Biff scattered objects throughout space and time and locked them behind closed doors. As a result, the space-time continuum is falling apart, because that's canon. Your quest, Marty, is to travel through time and space. Find and eventually return those objects to the correct locations. The almanac will then be destroyed, and the future restored. So here we are. 1985, folks. This is what they thought today would look like. Granted, they thought there would be an evil millionaire controlling the entire world, and I just went backwards to see if there was a secret, and it's like this is the whole level. Alright, so giant snails, those exist. Lower gravity than usual. That's real. Alright, can't go through that door. It's fine. Respawning giant snails, also very true. What is this? This is like a living trash can. He's like, please kill me. Gotcha. What the hell was that? This game was made in 1989 and came out in 1990, at least that's what the trademark says, the year I was born. And now here we are in 2015, so let's do a report card on what Back to the Future Part 2 got right. As of today, because today is when the day takes place. Well, I'm sorry? What? Okay, so apparently those green stones aren't there. Lovely. Alright, so, hoverboards. That's a no-go. There are no hoverboards. You can buy the Mattel pink thing that you see Marty use in the movie. You know, a lot of their predictions are actually true, just by, you know, wow, okay. So, self-fulfilling prophecy. But there is hover technology, just we'll never see hoverboards. Like when our parents were children, they were promised a future with jetpacks. And that has yet to happen because of obvious reasons. And oh, what is this thing? The final boss? Meh, meh, meh. Oh, I got a key that I had to catch on the fly. Okay. But there is hover technology. It's just going to be used in warehouses. Since, you know, hovering is physically and scientifically impossible. Wow. But with the use of magnets, you can achieve hover-like status. But those will be used to transport heavy things in warehouses. Though that's actually happening. So we are getting some hover technology, which is like, so you can like say, they got that half right. We have Perfect Pepsi. That is out. You can only buy it online. Jesus, everything kills you in 2015. This is what happens with the future of no social health care, guys. We have an evil, corrupt millionaire taking control of the country on it right now. His name is Donald Trump. Just kidding, that'll never happen. That is a bigger joke than hoverboards. So yeah, Perfect Pepsi is out. You can get those Nike shoes because people are like, hey, those are cool in the movie. That's nostalgic. I want them. So they were made. In the arcade where the Perfect Pepsi was purchased, Marty played an arcade shooter And young Mr. Elijah Wood called it a baby's game because you had to use your hands. Now you can chalk this one up as a half-truth because motion control is a thing, and for the younger targeted audiences, like the Nintendo Wii, you had to use the nunchuck and the Wiimote, and that was intended for younger audiences. So you could say, oh, you gotta use your hands or motion control and call that a baby's game. So, alright, close enough. What am I supposed to do in this game? You think I would know. You think I would have home field advantage, like cheat codes, because I actually live in this time. We all do, actually. With blue ass clouds that shoot out deadly bouncy balls? Frictionless bouncy balls, obviously. What would have happened if I had gone left in the beginning of the game? 3D movies, those are a thing. No one could have predicted that 15 years ago. Of making a resurgence. There is no Jaws 19, that is true. We have Sharknado in 3D though. Sharknado 2, hell, Sharknado 3 is coming out. Unless it's already out, I have no idea. So, that's pretty darn close. And a joke trailer was made for Jaws 19 just last week by Universal Pictures. So there's that. And the Cubs are still in the playoffs. Obviously they didn't foresee the advent of the wild card, or the second wild card that was added a few years ago. So the playoffs don't end today, since there was 2 more series unaccounted for in 1985. But they predicted that there would be a baseball team in Miami. And the last time the Cubs were in the playoffs, they lost to the Marlins, who were then the Florida Marlins, but now they're the Miami Marlins. Sure, they can't play them in the World Series because they're both in the National League, but the Cubs are still technically in it. Things don't look too good with the Mets. And then, of course, you have to have either the Royals or the Blue Jays play them, but it is still a statistical possibility, which is impressive enough. If it comes true, and the Cubs do win the World Series, and especially in a sweep, like predicted, once again, it wouldn't be on the 21st, because of the difference in the playoff rules, but that would be the greatest, that would be some Notre Dame shit, and actually better than Notre Dame, because it would be correct, and decipherable. So that would be amazing if the Cubs won the World Series. No flying cars. I think we could all figure out why. Technology and the why would we? Why would we want hover cars? That's kind of useless. Flat screen TVs, that came true, long time ago, more than a decade ago. Flat screen TVs. We don't watch 30 channels at once. And fax machines haven't been a thing for over 10 years. So, they didn't get all of their things right, but they got an impressively large amount of things correctly, or at least close to it. Wearable tech, Google Glass, LJN, man. This was the shit back in the day. And by that, I mean, it was shit back then and it's still shit now. Like that. I mean, come on. Alright, so let's talk about things that the Back to the Future movie could have no way predicted about in 1985, about what would happen in 2015. In 2015, there was a Terminator movie, a Jurassic Park movie, a Mad Max movie, and a Star Wars movie. Who could have predicted that in 1985? Or 1990 when this game came out? Whoa, I'm on a hoverboard! Well, that was short-lived. People making a living off of playing video games, even ones like this? Obviously not me. But, popular entertaining people. Something that almost every single person in every civilized country, including the homeless and poor, has a device in their pocket that contains all of the information in human history. I mean, hey, at least they predicted that the Cubs wouldn't win a World Series before 2015. It was Cubs win their first World Series in, 115 years or whatever it is now. What, 1908? 107 years? Well, anywho, this was, a game, apparently, 25 years ago. Hope you guys learned a little bit of history about where you came from and what 2015 was supposed to look like. I'm gonna head out, go to a movie theater, and watch this movie because, yeah, be thankful for what you have and for what we don't have.